Hi guys, welcome to Pinnacle Healthcare Staffing. This is Anaya, and I'm part of the social media marketing team here. And this is another Get to Know a Nurse Monday. I always forget to say Mondays. We only ever post on Mondays. So thank you for tuning in. We have a special person in today. You can introduce yourself. Like, what's your occupation? What are you doing right now?
Sure. Hi, my name's Allie. I am a new grad nurse. I'm in the ER. I've been there about 8 months now.
Why did you want to become an ER nurse?
Um, I think because I really wanted to challenge myself and seeing like the patients at like their most critical time. I felt like I felt like I would be able to really grow my skills very quickly since I'd be handling all different kinds of patients. We see ICU patients, step down, med surge, we kind of see everything and then send them up. And then I kind of like that I have the patients for a short time and then I get to send them to the floor.
Like, get on out of here.
Yeah.
So our team does a lot of research when it comes to ER nurses, especially when dealing with PTSD. So they see like extreme, you know, day to day basis
Yeah.
things. So I wanted to know, like, have you ever been affected by that mentally, physically, at all?
Definitely. I mean, it's hard because I mean, you see people they don't expect to come to the ER. Their family members don't expect their loved ones to be there. So you see people at some really raw, hard times. But it's important to just kind of like once you leave work, you kind of like step out of that and you go, okay, I need to go back to my personal life. I have to leave this here at the door. It was a little hard like in the beginning. There are definitely times I like would cry about stuff or cry about patients that like we lost. But now I just kind of like give myself like the ride home to think about it. And then once I'm home, I tell myself, okay, I'm not going to think about this anymore. I have to move on.
That's good. Have you, like, if you could give a story, has there anything you experienced like the stress at all?
I think, I mean, keeping people alive is stressful in general, but I think the hardest part for me has been the schedule. I've never had to work 12-hour shifts before. So to jump into it, especially jumping into night shift, is insane. It's hard. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. It's really just the schedule and just trying to, um, I don't just trying to like manage like the outside of my life and make my social life and my home life like fit in with like my night shift schedule.
And you don't, has it affect like your home life at all?
Definitely, because it's just me and my husband, and then we have like a cat and dog, which are our babies. But like we're very opposite schedules. He's like a 9 to 5er, and I'm 7 p.m. to 7 a, 3 days a week. So like usually I'm coming home, going to bed, and he's getting up, going to work. So sometimes it's a little hard. Yeah.
Were you able to manage it after kind of realizing how the schedule is?
Yeah, I think like we just had to kind of have a sit down and discuss like, hey, I'll feed the dog in the mornings when I get here, and then like when I'm asleep and you come home, like you can feed the dog and take her out. And then we like to schedule like our dates ahead of time. So we'll be like, oh, we're both off, or you're able to leave work early this Friday. Like we'll go to a new restaurant or something like that. But I think I'm lucky in that a lot of my friends are nurses. And we all have like an app called Nurse Grid. So it's super easy for us to like get together and like see when everybody's free. And they kind of understand the struggle because most of them are nights too. So it's in that department I'm really lucky that I'm able to like get together with my friends. Yeah.
So I know like you talked about how you're managing everything. I've seen like your social posts. Like I love it. Like the get ready with me's are really nice. It makes me want to like start doing posts myself.
You should.
Like, I've been thinking about it and I'm slacking
so
really
fun.
bad. Yeah.
It's so fun.
My question is like how, knowing how you are on social media, are you able, like, is it still the same as being a nurse? Because knowing like you were doing like self-care posts, are you still doing that for yourself off of like social media?
Yeah, so what I film on social media is like what I actually do in real life. I'm like such a girly girl. I love like my skincare routines, my makeup routines, stuff like that.
Same.
Like it's my me time. But I when I first started working and I was like really struggling, I made a list of like self-care activities that make me feel good. Like I like to watch like Korean dramas and stuff like that. Love K dramas.
I love K dramas.
Love them. Like I've seen probably like 50 of them. It's like I always make time to do stuff that's good for me, and even stuff that I like don't like doing all the time, like working out. Sometimes I don't want to work out, but I know like if I do this, this is something I'm doing for me, and it's gonna make me better. So
I agree. Self-care is everything.
yeah. Period.
I'm not doing that right now, but I'm trying. I feel like the best thing is to be inspired by other people who do it.
Yeah.
Seeing how you've done that so far, it's like amazing. Like it makes me want to start pulling up a YouTube channel and
As you should
talk about struggles.
As you should.
And start getting it together. But I guess other than that, like, how would you encourage other nurses to take care of themselves, especially like ER nurses?
I think you just have to, because as a nurse, you spend your 12 hours dedicate, like giving your all to somebody else to the point where you're not using the bathroom, you're not eating. Sometimes you're just like, why am I doing this to myself? But it's because like you're caring, you're literally keeping people alive.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be selfish. When you get home, it's okay to be selfish, you know? But also I think it's important to just kind of like plan your week out and be like, hey, I'm going to go to my Pilates classes this day and this day. I'm going to take this day to just bed rot. I'm going to, you know, if you have to like do stuff outside of work for you so that you can come into work and safely take care of others.
I agree. Now I need to start getting it together. But do you have a story like as an ER nurse, like any kind of crazy story you've witnessed or something you went through yourself?
I think about that one. I don't want to say anything too crazy.
I mean, whatever you're comfortable with.
I mean,
yeah,
it's just you see something bizarre every shift. Every shift is something wild. Every shift is something I've never seen before. And I mean, it ranges from just like, wow, this person's crazy, to like, oh my gosh, you know, I love this patient. They're awesome. I wish the best for them, to like really sad days. Like every day is really different. But every day is wild. Like they call the ER like the Wild West of like nursing.
wow.
Because it's just, you just don't know what you're walking into.
So, what motivates you to keep being a nurse? Like home life, faith, your race?
I mean, I do think a lot of things play into motivating me. I feel like as a Christian, like I feel like I'm fulfilling a purpose. I feel like I'm helping people, and I think my best days have been like when someone says like, "Oh, you treated me really well today," or like, "You were such a good nurse to me. Thank you." Like that means everything. Yeah. Like that is everything. And I just go home and I feel like, oh my gosh, like I'm doing something for somebody today, which is awesome. But even like as a Black woman, like I have had times where patients like will kind of pull me aside and be like, especially like older Black women, they'll be like, there's not a lot of us here. I'm happy to see you here. You know, and that just means so much to me. Like those moments mean more than anything.
Yeah, okay. I just want to say, like, even though I'm not a nurse myself, I get to learn through other people's perspectives, and I think, like, generally, I'm proud of all the nurses, like, especially what they go through.
Yeah.
Especially ER nurses.
Yeah.
Find peace and be able to balance everything out.
Yeah.
Work and like home, and so.
Yeah.
I just want to say I'm proud and
thank you.
You're amazing. I know y'all work very hard.
Oh, so, thanks.
Even though I kind of want to talk about like your social media pages, I've seen your YouTube, awesome. Like, what made you want to start a social page?
Honestly, it's just a hobby. I started my YouTube back in I think like 2012 or 2013, and it was just like I just liked like back then like well I don't know how old you were back in like 2013.
I mean, I was a young girl, but
because I was in like high school at the time, and it was a lot of like fashion and makeup that was like big on there. And my mom is a photographer and a videographer, and so like there was always like cameras and things in the house, and so it was just a hobby for me. I didn't think I would get 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, and it was mostly like care content. Like there's almost like no, there's a little bit of nursing, but like people don't really watch my YouTube for nursing videos. But 100% just a hobby. Even my nursing content on like Instagram and TikTok, it's literally just like almost a form of self-care for me because it's fun to edit them, it's fun to film them, and then I like to look back and be like, wow, like I was getting ready for my shifts back then, and I was a new nurse, and just looking back and seeing like how much I've grown and like how much I've improved my self-care and even like my video editing and stuff like that. I just love seeing that.
Same here. Listen, I edit all the videos. I edit all I'm doing really well with these, and I'm very shocked. So
yeah, it's like a little a little dopamine boost. Like whenever I finish editing, I'm like, oh, this is great. Like I just love it. I just love
it. But you still do like your self-care videos and stuff like that today.
Yeah.
Like how do you find time to do these videos or with your
since I switched to night shift, like once I got off orientation and started nights, it was hard. I just didn't really post. But I'm starting, like, I think now that I'm getting a better hold of it, I'm starting to kind of like film a little more. But usually like the way I film is like I'll wake up and I'll be like, I just want to film and get ready today. Like it's not always like planned. It's just kind of like, oh, I just feel like filming myself doing my makeup, and I just film it and I just edit it and post it because it's just, you know, fun for me to do. But I wish I was more disciplined. Like some people like have like a schedule. That's so hard.
So hard.
If I could have a schedule, that'd be great. But I'm such a sporadic poster.
I guess one thing I want to say is I've seen a lot of nurses doing like their own content, self-care, talking about their experiences in the work field. Do you agree? Like a lot of like nurses in general should start doing their own content about their home life and what they've experienced in their profession.
Yeah, I mean, if they want to, I understand. Like, not a lot of people like to post on social media. I even have a friend at work who, like, you would never know he's a nurse. Like, he purposely doesn't have anything nursing related on his page because he doesn't want to see it, like, at home. So I think it depends. For me, it's like a creative outlet, but maybe for others, like, they don't want to share it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if you feel, like, if someone feels inclined or they feel like they want to share what they're experiencing, I say go for it.
All right, guys, we're going to have some ending questions to ask. So, what is working really well in your life right now?
Working really well in my life. I would say, honestly, most things. Like, I really have no complaints. It's just, I'm just in an adjustment period, and that's just how I see it. I'm a new grad nurse, so I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to be a little awkward with things at work. But that's with anyone who's new at anything. So I just feel like blessed to have a job that I enjoy going to every day, but I understand that, you know, every day I'm going to get better.
So what has become clearer to you as you've gotten older?
As I've gotten older. That's funny because I just turned 29 and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be 30 soon, which I'm like excited about. What's become clear to me is like anything you want to do in life, just do it. I mean, like everything I've wanted to do in life, I've just done. And like nursing school was such a random idea for me, honestly. Like I was like, oh, I want to make more money and I want a job that makes me feel like I have a purpose. And so I was like, let me just go to nursing school. And it was so hard. So hard. One of the hardest things I've ever done. It was harder than my 4-year degree from previously. But once I completed it, I was just like, wow, I can really do anything. Like anything I put my mind to. So of course I chose like a hard specialty. And then at first I was having like imposter syndrome, you know, going into the ER. But as I'm getting the hang of it, I'm like, wow, I really can do anything I put my mind to. So that's something I've learned as I've gotten older. You know, whatever you want to do, just do it. Like if you want it bad enough, you'll accomplish it.
Okay. So you've learned to like it as much as yeah, because I'm like, if this marketing thing don't work for me.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if you don't want to do marketing, you want to do something else. If you want it, you'll get it.
So, I guess like another question I want to ask is like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years of your life?
Good question. Hopefully I'll be a mom. I would love to be a mom. That's been like a dream of mine for a long time. But as for nursing, I have no idea. I have so many interests. I love like everything beauty related. So if I could do like aesthetics I would love that. I would love to do like Botox and lip injections. I love that stuff. But at the same time, like I love teaching. I used to teach, and I would love to like combine teaching and nursing and be like an educator or like a clinical instructor. So I don't know.
Okay. Yeah. And then the last question is, when it comes to employer support, what's something you wish your current workplace or previous workplace is doing that they are not?
Mm, I think my only complaint is not letting new grads start on the shift that they would like. It was already hard for me to just adjust to simply being a nurse, but to have to do it like at 2 a.m.
Wow.
is like ridiculous. And like, I did speak to my manager about it, and like, I kind of expected that new grads stay on nights for some time, and that's one thing I wish could change. Like, I would feel better supported if I could sleep well and then do this job, because it's hard enough doing it on a full night of sleep. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Is there like anything else you want to add? Like any kind of advice moving forward or
I guess my biggest advice for nurses, which I mean everyone always says it, but it's just got to be said again, to just take care of yourself. We spend so much time taking care of others, and I see people at work all the time like, oh, I have to pee, I really have to pee, but I got to do this, or oh, I haven't eaten since yesterday, but I have to do this, and it's like sometimes it's okay to just take a second to just eat something or to go to the bathroom. Like nothing's gonna happen if you go to the bathroom real quick. Like we have to remember that we can't pour from an empty cup. So just make sure that you are taken care of, make sure that you're healthy, make sure that you have slept well, and then you can care for your patients to the best of your ability.
Yeah, I agree. Like, do you also think, even though nurses take care of themselves, that's the biggest goal, do you think like their workplace should also take care of nurses?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think I would say that my job does a good job of that. They have a lot of like self-care messages that they send out. And then even sometimes like in morning huddle, we would have like I don't know what he was, if he was like a spiritual counselor, I'm not sure, but he would just come and like we'd do like breathing exercises before we go in. And like I love stuff like that. Like that's just so needed.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you like so much for being here.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no
and then
problem.
thanks for what you guys do for nurses. That's like really awesome. It is.
All right, guys. This is the end of the podcast on Get to Know a Nurse Monday. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you.
Bye.